House representatives returned to work today with less than 3 weeks left to prevent a government shutdown. House Republicans are at odds, with some even threatening to shut the government down if certain demands aren't met. Joining us now is Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Congresswoman, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me on today.
So you laid out the conditions that need to be met to secure your vote, at least. Late last month, you called for an impeachment inquiry into President Biden, defunding the president's, quote, weaponization of government, eliminate all COVID vaccines as well as those mandates, and stopping providing financial aid to Ukraine. Congresswoman, that's a tall order. What are the odds those conditions are met?
Well, it's not a tall order if Washington wants to listen to the American people. You know, I'm on the Oversight Committee, and we have produced overwhelming evidence that there is a need for an impeachment inquiry. And over 61% of Americans do believe that Joe Biden has engaged in high crimes and misdemeanors and is involved in Hunter Biden's business deals with foreign countries, foreign nationals, and foreign businesses. This is corruption at the highest level. This requires an impeachment inquiry, and I'm demanding it, and I'm willing to use my voting card to get it. And
are you able to share
what the country needs?
Are you able to share what that evidence is that you say that you have against President Biden?
Absolutely. If you followed the Oversight Committee, you would know the evidence. We have produced bank statements that we found, that we subpoenaed through the SARS reports in the Treasury Department. These reports have been there for years. These bank statements show proof of wire transfers of money into fake LLCs. The Bidens don't sell a product. They do not sell a service, yet they had all these fake LLCs where wire transfers of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars went into these fake LLCs and paid out many Biden family members, even 2 grandchildren. This is proof that they have been abusing Joe Biden's office, but even more so, Joe Biden himself admitted on camera in an interview that he withheld aid money to Ukraine in order to get Viktor Shokin fired, the prosecutor that was investigating Burisma, where his son Hunter served on the board and was taking a very hefty paycheck every single month. This is proof that we need an impeachment inquiry.
And, you know, Punchbowl News, I'm sure you saw this morning, reported breaking news today that House Speaker Kevin McCarthy would actually be endorsing an impeachment inquiry into President Biden at a closed-door hearing or meeting later on this week on Thursday. Have you spoken to the speaker? Are you able to confirm that and your response to that news? Because I know for a while he was warning people, you know, a government shutdown could keep us from being able to investigate anything about President Biden.
Well, we're not linking a government shutdown to an impeachment inquiry. Those are 2 separate issues. And of course, I've spoken to the speaker. I speak to him all the time, and I just saw him yesterday. This is great news for the American people, and this shows very strong leadership. This shows that Kevin McCarthy is not who many accuse him to be. It shows that he's willing to lead the House of Representatives for transparency, for truth, and also for an inquiry. Believe me, it's a big difference between an inquiry and actual impeachment. He's taking the right steps, and he's using his speakership to do it.
But you are willing to risk a government shutdown, correct? If your demands aren't met, if this inquiry isn't opened, why is that worth it to you? And what does a government shutdown achieve if that happens?
Well, let's talk about a government shutdown. If the government shuts down, that's no threat. I'll tell you why. Senior citizens still receive their Social Security checks. Medicare checks go out. All the essential parts of the government stay open, and the American people are not threatened by a government shutdown. What threatens the American people is having a president that is willing to abuse his power to enrich himself and his family. And that is what Joe Biden has done, not only as vice president, but we should be concerned about president as well, because we are involved in a war in Ukraine against a nuclear-armed nation, Russia. And this is all because of Joe Biden's corruption and Hunter Biden's business deals. And that is something that should scare every single American. While he has us engaged in defending Ukraine's borders, he's completely ignoring our wide open borders. Look at New York City. It's not even the city it used to be. They have migrants, thousands of them, sleeping on the streets. The Biden administration has lost over 85,000 migrant children and doesn't even care to look for them and will not secure the border to stop the flow of human trafficking and drug trafficking that's killing over 300 Americans every single day.
We just talked to Councilwoman Vicky Palladino, who I'm sure you've listened to and maybe have talked to before about just the daily numbers. Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We do appreciate it, and we'll keep our eye closely on that Thursday meeting and whatever it may hold. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.